Tonight on Chronicle, technology has given them a voice.
Do you like camp, Brendan?
Camp Can Do is great.
Now they're bringing them together for the first time at Camp Can Do.
To realize that they're a kid, regardless what they look like, regardless who they are, and how they communicate. It's all about being a kid.
There are summer camps for kids who play ball, kids who draw, kids who swim. But what if your kid is special?
Children with cerebral palsy or autism or Down syndrome often have difficulty speaking and have very special physical needs.
This year, for the first time ever, New Hampshire kids who use technology to give them a voice had a summer camp to call their own.
Amy Covino spent the day at Camp Can Do in Raymond and made some very special friends indeed.
Camp Can Do has parachute games, games that make ice cream, and even though this camp is indoors, there are trees and chairs around a campfire of sorts.
Do you like camp, Brendan?
Camp Can Do is great.
That's music to the ears of Bonnie Vaillancourt. This therapist worked for 5 years to make her dream of a camp for AAC kids come true. AAC is short for Augmentative Alternative Communication, affectionately known as talkers. Not only is this camp a first of its kind in New Hampshire, Bonnie says what these 9 campers are experiencing is something they've never come close to before.
And I heard yesterday from a couple parents that, this is the first day that they've really been engaged for an entire day. They're going to sleep so good, and it may be the first night that they've ever slept through the night because they're so exhausted from engagement, from laughing, from fun.
Some of these kids have autism, some have Down's syndrome, or like Morgan, cerebral palsy, and are confined to a wheelchair. What they all have in common is the inability to use their own voice to communicate.
More? So you like everything? Yes. What do you say to the next? Where else would you like to buy?
Sign language is an option, so is lip reading. But these handheld talkers give muted boys and girls a voice. Meet a star in the world of augmented speech, Morgan Johnson.
My name is Morgan Johnson.
And how old are you?
I am 15 years old.
And do you have any siblings?
There are 4 people in my family: my mom, dad, brother Miles, and myself.
Morgan has cerebral palsy. Her brilliant mind has taken her into mainstream high school courses, including high-level math.
So Morgan, you have the thoughts here, but they won't come out of your mouth. So if you didn't have this, what would you do?
Bored. Be bored.
Boredom is one of the biggest challenges these kids have, say the therapists who work with them. That's why these $7,000 to $8,000 talkers are so important to learn how to use, and that's the #1 priority at Camp Can Do.
The goal of camp was to bring people together for a good common goal of AAC communication devices, as well as to teach them how to use it.
The fun factor is important too. This is the very first time some of these kiddos have ever been to a summer camp, where their so-called disabilities are the norm.
To realize that they're a kid, regardless what they look like, regardless who they are, and how they communicate. It's all about being a kid.
It takes a team of people to meet the needs of each camper.
Movie? We don't have a movie today. That's after. Are you going to the movie after camp today?
Yes.
Whoa.
At the camp store, these tokens are the only currency that works. Campers earn them every time they use their device to talk. Parents say the progress they see is thrilling.
I've seen him use this device like it's supposed to be used, like the vision I had for him, that he would be independent and he would have friends and he'd be able to sing songs.
These AAC devices do it all. A computer for email, a remote control, even control the window shades in a room. And for the teenaged set, these devices text message. Talk about a bridge builder.
To know that technology helps bridge that gap between a physical impairment and a what they call a typical student.
Therapists say AAC takes kids who are stagnating, trapped by their disability, and empowers them. The trick, they say, is getting kids to get fluent with the tool, like Morgan. Camp Can Do offers rare peer-on-peer teaching. Kids show each other features on their devices, shortcuts and buttons they may have never explored. Morgan is able to turn the tables on us by asking some questions of her own.
Why are you doing this?
Why are we doing this? Well, this is for New Hampshire Chronicle.
It's just wonderful to see kids who really often just sit alone with no interaction, both social and communication, in a classroom where there are their typical peers who try and engage them, who endear them, but they don't have that peer relationship with other kids who use communication.
Thank you.